Again, this is a walkthrough of the 3.5 number summary and box plots. I have the data from table 17 just typed in, and there's a typo right here. Wow, we can't win today, can we? So here's all of the data. I first want to sort it so that it's in number order. So I select the array of cells I want, and I come over here to sort and filter, and I'm going to sort by smallest to largest. Okay, that's nice because now I can kind of see where's halfway in the middle. So if I have 21 numbers, that means that halfway between the data is where I'm going to find my median, which means this right here is the median. Okay, I'm showing you my keyboard so you can see what I'm doing. That's the median. And so I want to find the middle of the upper half of the data. So I'm looking here to see the upper half of the data, and I will find that it's halfway between these two numbers. So I'm going to average these two numbers together equals the average of this one and this one. So that was, I used these to toggle around. Okay. And then I'm going to find the average of this section. Okay. The average of this, not average, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The median of that section, which would be the numbers between here and here. So I'm going to find the average there. Average of this, colon, the one below it, close parentheses, enter. So I have my value. So my minimum value is here. If I'm just going to give it some colors. So this is the minimum value. This is the quartile 1. This is the median. This is quartile 3. And then here is my maximum. So if I was looking for my 5-number summary, I have my 5-number summary right there. When I want to go and do the box plots, what I'll do is I'll select all of the data, and then I will go to Insert. On Charts, it's the box and whisker. If you're on Excel Online, it does require you to search a little bit more to find it. If you wanted to change the values here, you could double click, and I think it's going to be covered up by my screen. You could double click the chart itself and change the axes informations. So I'm going to click the vertical axis here and change the axis options. Let's say I want it to start at 10. So I go 10, enter. And maybe I didn't want it to go up all the way to 60. We're just going to go to 55. So that outlier is seen, but is a little bit closer to the edge. Now we have a little bit more info. So there's a lot of characteristics here that you can change with the chart elements, which is cool to customize it to what you want. I'm going to delete this so we can move on. Well, didn't delete. Okay. Okay. So we have this data of the flight and control. Now, first things first, without having to do a ton of work, Excel will give you both box plots if you select both arrays and tell it you want the box plots, which is kind of cool. So we have both of them here. I don't love that this is so big, so I'm going to change some of these settings. I'm going to have my minimum value be 6, and I'm going to have the maximum value be 11, just so that it's zoomed in. I'm also going to come back to the settings themselves of the chart, and I'm going to add both a legend, so you can see what I'm talking about, as well as the data labels, which gives you the actual numbers in here, which I think is very cool. Okay, so we have that information there. Oh, didn't turn it on. Boom. So we actually already know the numbers we're going to get out of all of this, but we can do this by hand as well. So that's just going to show you a little bit by hand. This is not behaving well today. Okay, so first things first, I want to sort just this column to make it in alphabetical order. So I'm going to sort largest to smallest, and it's going to ask me if it wants to expand the selection, which means it would keep these numbers next to each other. I don't want that, so I'm going to do current selection. There is a time that you would need that one, just not right now. And then I'm going to, again, sort the control data just with my current selection. Boom. Now I know that I have, what is this, 14 pieces of data, which means my median is going to be somewhere in the middle. It's going to be specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be the average of these two, which will make the mean. So let me go ahead and do equals average of these two cells. Okay. Or for this side, I'm going to do average of, so I toggled over, colon up, close parentheses. So we have our two values here for the average. I'm going to keep with my color scheme here and I'll make those nice blue. Okay. I know also that I have the minimum values. I have the maximum values. And now I just need the median. So if this is the half of the data, it's clear to me that this number is halfway. So this is Q3, quartile 3. Make that guy green, which also means this guy is green. If I look at the bottom half of the data, it's clear to me that these two values are the first quartiles for both of those. Now, does this make sense? It does, because if you see, our numbers here reflect those same things, which is pretty cool. The other thing we need to do if we were doing this fully by hand is calculate your interquartile range. So if we're doing the IQR, that's going to be the quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So see, I'm using these to toggle around. And then I can copy paste that information here and here. And if you see, it has adjusted to be column F instead of column E. So I have my IQR for both datas. I need my lower fence and my upper fence. The formula for lower fence is quartile 1 minus 1.5 shift 8 times, or the times button over here, this IQR. We're going to copy this over here. The upper fence is quartile 3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. And we'll copy paste this around. So we have our values here. We can double check our box plots that we have no outliers that lie beyond the lower or upper fence for this data. And we see this box plot in the graph there. I think that's everything you guys wanted me to go back over when it came to the Excel here. If you have more questions or I didn't cover something you needed, just message me. Sorry, this was a haphazard video.